Hey everyone, it's Lance with Christianity Minute. Sorry if my voice sounds a little scratchy today. I've had a little bit of an allergy issue, but welcome to the channel. Today is Mother's Day, and it's kind of a big deal for every single person on the planet. Now, generally this is not a worldwide holiday, and it's also not a scriptural one, but I definitely think that is one that Christians can embrace wholeheartedly, in that we all have mothers, and we are commanded to honor them. In fact, you see on your screen right now, we have Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 16. Now, this is from the Old Testament. Honor your father and your mother, as the Lord your God commanded you, that the days may be long, and it may go well with you in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. Now, he's talking to the Israelites. They're on their way to the land of Canaan, the land of milk of honey. And a lot of people might say, well, that's Old Testament. Do we take our authority from the Old Testament? Lance, you always preach that that's a bad thing. Well, if we look, it's repeated again in Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 1. It says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother." This is the first commandment with the promise, that it may go well with you, and that you may live long in the land. Honor is kind of a big thing, to honor our mother and our father. And if we look at the definition of honor here, this is Merriam-Webster, of course. It says, an esteem due or paid to worth, high estimation, respect, consideration, reverence, veneration, manifestation of respect or reverence. It says, a prophet is not without honor, save in his own country. Honor is a big deal. To give respect to our mothers, and it's nice to kind of set aside a day for that to be recognized, even by secular society, as something that's very important. You know, James chapter 1 and verse 5 tells us that if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him. Well, what was God's little gift of wisdom? What did he tell us? Well, he told us back in Deuteronomy, honor your father and your mother. He told us to listen to them. So, you know, God tells us that our mothers have wisdom, that we can go and we can be richly blessed through them. In fact, we see in Proverbs chapter 31, starting in verse 10, it reads about the godly woman. Now, I'm going to read this real quick, and I've got it on the screen for you, so I hope you read it with me here. And it says, an excellent wife who can find? She's far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. She is like the ships of the merchant and brings her food from afar. She rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and portions for her maidens. She considers a field and buys it, and with the fruit of her hand she plants a vineyard. She dresses herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. She puts her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle. She opens her hand to the poor and reaches out her hands to the needy. She's not afraid of snow for her household are clothed in scarlet. She makes bed coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them. She delivers sashes to the merchant. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and praises her. Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceit, but beauty is vain. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates. What a beautiful description. The idea of a Proverbs 31 woman is a great indicator of the value of a woman for a wife, for a mother, for someone who will be a helpmeet, someone to help us in our journey in life. Yeah, there are a lot of women out there who don't meet this criteria, but they should all strive for it. Does it sound a little old-fashioned? Well, let me note a couple of things here. How she works. She owns land. She buys a field. She is industrious. This is not some oppressed woman who's forced to stay at home all the time and take care of the kids. No, but that is part of her role, is to do those things. Now, I'm not saying the man doesn't have a part in that, but she's happy to do it. She's far more precious than any jewel. She is someone who dispels wisdom, who's intelligent, who's kind, who's smart, who's educated. You know, I don't think that it's a coincidence. In Proverbs, looks like I don't have this one open. Let me open this real quick. If we go, nope, I think I have it labeled wrong. Yep. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 13. It says, "Blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who gets understanding. For the gain for her is better than gain from silver, and her profit better than gold. She's more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare to her. Her life is in her right hand, and her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who lay hold of her, and those who hold her fast are called blessed." You know, I don't think that it is any kind of coincidence that this really sounds very much like Proverbs 31. And the idea of wisdom, that thing that we're supposed to search for and find, is called she. It's not a he. She. Someone we can hold close, someone who will educate us and assist us in our learning. You know, I really like Henry Ward Beecher, I believe is his name, is a Civil War preacher. And he said, "A mother's heart is the child's schoolroom." Really, to a young child, the concept of God and honor and reverence take on the name of Mama. And then it's Dada. That's the whole world to a child. Child is innocent. Child has no sin. A child does not know God, but is one with God because she's completely innocent, or he. You know, John Quincy Adams, our 6th President of the United States, he said that all that I am, my mother made me. What a beautiful thing to say. You know, I'm reminded, Proverbs chapter 1 and Proverbs 22. Proverbs 1:8 says, "Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teaching, for they are a graceful garland for your head and pendants for your neck." Proverbs 22:6 says, "Train up a child in the way he should go. When he is old, he'll not depart from it." Teaching and learning are ways that our mothers take care of us. Yes, they also teach us how to use a spoon. So don't get upset when she asks you how to use AOL. Oh, still using AOL. I've been very blessed. I have 2 mothers in my life. I had one that started my life. She gave birth to me. Realized that she was too young. She couldn't give me the life that she wanted to give me. So she put me up for adoption. And then I met my second mother. The one who raised me, the one who taught me, the one who showed me the pathways of the Lord. Whenever I grew older, I finally met my birth mother, and the mother who adopted me passed away. And my birth mother is there for me no matter what. From day one, she showed that she loved and cared for me more than anyone else in the world. And she still does. Happy Mother's Day, Julie and Patricia, wherever you may be right now. Because honoring our mothers is so important. And let me tell you exactly how important it is. Jesus on the cross was doing the single most important event in all of mankind. He was dying on the cross for you and for me and for our mothers. And let's face it, what could be more important than that? The last thing that he did. And I'm going to turn to John chapter 19, and I want to take very close note here. In verses 23 through 24, there's chaos. They're dividing his garments and casting lots because he's about to die. So okay, who cares? That's what the Romans feel about it. But in verse 25, standing by the cross of Jesus were his mother and his mother's sister Mary, the wife of Cleophas, and Mary Magdalene. You have these three women standing there. One's his mother. And when Jesus saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to his mother, "Woman, behold your son." And he said to the disciple, "Behold your mother." And from that hour, the disciple took her into his own home. Just to give you an idea of exactly how close we are to the end of Jesus' life. Verse 28. After this, notice it's after this is immediately after, Jesus, knowing that all is now finished, said, to fulfill Scripture, "I thirst." A jar full of sour wine stood there. They put it to a sponge and full of sour wine on the hyssop branch, held it to his mouth. And when Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, "It is finished." And he bowed his head and gave up the spirit. The very last thing that Jesus did before fulfilling the final Scripture and dying on the cross was to take care of his mother, to honor her. He knew he was the oldest boy. Yes, he had brothers, but he had a job to do, to take care of his mother, make sure that she was cared for in his absence, because he was about to die. And that was on his mind at the same time that he was saving you and me. That's how important Mother's Day is. That's how important it is for us to honor our parents. I really hope that you like this video. I hope that you share this video with your friends and maybe mothers that you know. Let them know how much you care for them. If you like this video, leave a like. Consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. If you'd like to support me directly, you can do so at patreon.com/ChristianityMinute. Even a simple $1 donation helps these videos to be made. I post a new video every Sunday and a short devotional video every Tuesday and Thursday. So remember, honor your mother today. Spend some time with her. Send her a card. Take her out to dinner. Don't let it be the only day that you do that. Keep Christ in mind. And I hope you learned something today, and I'll see you right here next time on Christianity Minute.